Don't watch my edges. You know I don't really got edges like that, alright? If you can believe, this is a 100% protective style. Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel. I am JC. If you are new here from JustLostJC here, whatever. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Okay, so I'm gonna make this intro very short and sweet. All right, this is just another protective style that I am doing. I'm throwing into my Rolodex of protective styles. I wanted to try something new, and if you can imagine, if you can believe, this is a 100% protective style. Okay, and I will be keeping this hair in probably for 2 weeks. Mad. So if you want to see how I got this style, definitely continue to keep on watching. Okay, first things first, you guys know I have my hair growth oil. It helps my hair. It's been helping it to grow. You guys know I'm always trying to get thicker hair, so I use this on my roots. This is just in a way prepping my hair so that the scalp is marinating and all that while I am doing this protective style. So if you're interested in that hair growth oil, please click the link down below. 13 different oils in there. Check out the ingredients. Make sure you're not allergic to anything, child, okay? But yes, definitely consider this if you're looking for hair growth oil that has been getting me inches, honey. I mean, I'm just so shocked every time I see the growth that I've achieved. Okay, so let's get into this. This is going to be a protective style, so this is me trying my best to protect my hair as much as possible, all sections of it. So this is how we're starting off. You can see my hair is in twists, and I'm trying to transform this into a different type of protective style. First things first, divide the hair. There's a back section we're going to be working with, and then we're going to be working with the front section. So the back section is, I guess, the more interesting section. So this time that I did my twists, I did a bit more. I added a bit more, you know, or I added a bit less time, meaning that I made them really chunky, big twists, which is not typically what I do. But because I knew I was probably going to try this style, I was like, you know what? Let me do bigger twists and manage that for how long I keep it. So you can see the twists in the back. What you want to do is get those twists out of the way. Now, I know how to corn braid when my hair is in twists. It's pretty easy for me to do. But if you don't, maybe try flat twisting. You just need to get them. They don't really have to look pretty because the point is it's supposed to be covered up. No one's supposed to see it. So what I decided to do, because these twists are so large, is do 2 large braids, or 2 chunkier braids. And for me, trying to hide the fall time or the hang time, obviously my hair does have some hang time, so I don't want that to be sticking out the bottom of the style. So when I do the 2 braids, I could usually, or I decided to combine them at the bottom and then flip that up and start tucking and weaving. You'll see, listen, you see what I'm doing, just tucking and weaving, trying to make it fit. There is no one method to do this, but this is typically how I try to get away with not putting thread or not finding some other way to adhere my fall time or the hang time that I have back up into the situation. I try and keep everything as simple as possible. So this is my method, especially when it doesn't really matter how it looks. It doesn't have to look that clean because the hair I'm using is a fro, is afro-y hair, and so the bigger the better. Actually, it's going to give more volume, provide more volume in the back end. That's perfectly fine for me. So that's how I do to get that all succinct. I'm so excited about this style, guys, because literally I'm having all my hair tucked away, but it's going to look like I don't have my hair tucked away. It's listen, when I say I'm trying new things with my hair this summer, y'all don't want to believe me. Believe me, please believe me, okay? So once the back is all put away, you can see it's actually protected. Twists are still there. Now we're moving on to the front. Now the front is where it gets a bit techie, you know, gets a bit techie and that, because now you're untwisting. So it's a bit, we're veering a bit away from the protective style train, because now I'm untwisting the twists, but this is what we need. This is what I need to do in order to hide the hair and make it blend as much as possible with my hair. But don't worry, I'm going to try and keep my ends away. You guys know I'm always working on my ends. I'm always like, oh, my ends could be a bit thicker, you know, so I'm really trying my best to protect my ends. So you're going to see what I decide to do to make that work. But of course, if you're not really too pressed about that, you don't have to do what I end up doing in the end, which is braiding this all together. You can just leave it out. But anyway, you want to untwist the front section. That's the thing that you want to do with the front. And then we're going to now move into the clip-ins. Okay, so now it's about the clip-ins. So this part, generally I'm pretty all over the place with it, as you will probably see from this tutorial. But the main ones that I do like to focus on are the ones at the top. Now these clip-ins, I actually did a review for them, so I will link them in the cards. They're a very nice quality set of clip-ins, so I like them for this style. They're very simple and easy to work with. Not my texture, but again, listen, we're gonna make it blend. So what's really important to me with this style is the top two. And those are the two that I placed first. I take the two longest ones that we have. So each pack, there's 2 packs of these clip-ins. Each pack came with one long one. And so I like to put those right at the top because that's gonna cover all the sins basically. So I like to start one really all the way at the edge, close to one of my ears or behind one of my other ears, and then wherever it reaches to. These are not long enough to go around the whole middle section of my head, the whole diameter or radius of my head, which is fine because I have the other one, and the other one I start on the other side of my ear and do the same pattern. So once those two are in place, as you can see, you know, looks a bit crazy, but it's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Hold on a minute. Don't doubt me. Don't doubt me, okay? So then I like to push those up or pin those up, get those out of the way, and then start from the bottom now. Bottom and work my way up. Now, as you can see, my hair is very, very lumpy with the way I twisted and everything, but it's fine. Because these are clip-ins, it's not a full wig. It's not as full, let's say, as if you were using a half wig. So actually, the lumpiness of my head gives, you know, the thing a bit of volume. Either way, just start from the bottom and work your way up. So start from the bottom, adding some of the smaller clip-ins or the shorter ones, which I like to add, and then I work my way up slowly. I like to fit. Sometimes it's hard to get it to fit, but I like to fit in as many as I can. All of them, to be honest. I put in all of them, let's be clear. Except the 2 small ones. So there's 2 clip-ins, one that came in each pack of just literally 1 clip. Those ones I do not use, but everything else I make fit inside or on my head because I know it's going to give me the density that I want. Sometimes it's a bit hard to place, but listen, I find a way. And then once you're done, this is how it will look. As you can see, it's not looking too shabby. Obviously, now we have the top that we need to work with, but this is the base, and this is what we're working with. Okay, so now we're in the front section. And this part is where it gets sticky, literally. We're just working with this section because this is what's going to cover everything up. And this is the part that we're going to use to conceal the fact that these are clip-ins. Now, this should work seamlessly. My hair texture is obviously very different from this, so I don't want any of my hair out. So what I proceed to do is I like to divide my hair into 3 sections when I'm doing this. So the 2 side sections, because I prefer a middle part kind of swept back look. And then I like to have a middle section that's going to go back in order to cover some of that, the clip-ins. That is obviously important to me. I don't want those to show, hence why I didn't divide that middle section in 2. I use that to cover it up. So you're just going to go section by section and start gluing it down. So as you can see, or start gelling it down. As you can see, I start off with the water. That's very important, especially for my hair. My hair is 4B4C hair, so I need to get it wetter in order for the product to really seep in there and sink in there. So I like to get it as wet as possible. Not too wet, and I really do focus on just the scalp area because that's the area that really needs to be glued down. The rest of it, you'll see it's going to be tucked away because, again, I'm trying to make this as protective a style as possible. So start with slicking that back, start with the water. Of course, then we come in with the Eco Styler Gel, Old Faithful. I put a lot of Eco Styler Gel and really try and make sure that it gets down. I can feel in the roots of my hair and start slicking back. Okay, we're slicking back with hopes and prayers. Okay, dreams and prayers. Okay, so lots of Eco Styler Gel in that section. And you'll see that I just go around and do that to each section. So I do it to the 2 sections on the side as well as the 1 section going back. So once I feel like I have a pretty good handle on all 3 sections, like they're for the most part generally just gelled back as great as I can get it, that's when I come in with the Got To Be glue. That's going to be the stronghold for it. That's going to be the thing that really solidifies it and sticks it in place. So I like to layer that as the last measure on top. Of course it looks white or whatever, but that's fine. Just put how much that you think you need for your hair. And then I like to go in with one of my combs just to try and rake that through, because of course it got to be glue gel is a bit thicker, so it doesn't seep in as easily with water. So yeah, I use that and slick it back as much as possible. So now once all 3 sections are slicked, this is where, you know, it gets a bit sticky. So there are different ways to do this, and I decided to go with the braid method. The braid method means that my hair will be put away, and which is what I want. I want all sections of my hair, in essence, to not have the ends out, because again, I'm trying to focus on the ends. Now, some people, if your hair blends a bit better, you can try doing different things, like just bobby pinning it back, or maybe just doing a ponytail, like tying that, slicking that part down and doing a ponytail instead. If your hair will blend, my hair wouldn't blend anyway, so the best method for me to do, and the one that I wanted to do anyway, was a braid. So I take those 3 sections that we have and proceed to braid. Now for me, because I use quite a large section in the front, the braid, if I try and do it high, I just didn't like the look of it. My hair wasn't laying as flat as I think it looked the best as. So I had to do a low braid, or a braid that's going around and back down the diameter of my head. So because of that, I decided to take a bit of hair to thicken up the middle section, take a bit of hair from the clip-ins to add to the middle section, and actually that kind of helped the hair blend a bit more, have some texture inside my braid, or the braid not just be all my hair. I think that did help. So essentially that's what I did, braided that back, and as you can see, it's still, or I'm not sure if it showed, but for me it still had a bit of rise. It wasn't as flat as I wanted it to be, of course, for the hair. So it's not always going to lay as flat, especially if you're not doing a ponytail style, which tends to get it very flat. This is not a ponytail, so I decided to go in then with some bobby pins. So because I decided to stick with the braid, I decided to use bobby pins around the perimeter just to really slick everything back, so that when it's drying really slick. Now I probably will keep the bobby pins in. I don't think I'm going to dislike them, you know. I think it'll be fine. But for those that maybe don't love the braid, what you could do is use the bobby pins to slick everything back, and then when it dries, undo your braid. Again, this is if your texture matches. Mine really doesn't, and I also don't want to deal with humidity and the elements fluffing up my hair. But if my hair matched, I would undo the braids and then have it like, you know, a half back kind of look. But my hair doesn't, so the plan is to keep the braid in, and maybe I'll add some bedazzles and some jewels to the braid. But that's pretty much it. Once you get the braid, you slap on the headscarf and set it, have it dry, and then I'll show you how it looks when it is all done. But again, you can modify this style, which is why I love it. You can modify it for what you're trying to do, and I love the fact that I'm able to get the look like my hair is out, but also in a style that I don't usually wear, because I don't really usually wear my hair, even when I wear it out, it's half slicked back. I never do that. I usually just wear a big twist out. So this is going to be something a bit different for me, which again, I said I'm trying to switch it up. Never really had this style or rock this style on my channel. It's not a style I usually wear. This is one of the first times I'm trying it. So I'm still perfecting it, but it's still a style that I'm glad to be able to add into my repertoire. Okay? My repertoire. So I hope this video was somewhat informative to you all. Don't watch my edges. You know I don't really got edges like that, alright? Okay, that is the end of the video. So a few things that I will say. Depending on the clip-ins that you have, things might be a bit different for you, but because these clip-ins definitely are not my texture and the color is slightly off, like slightly off, for me, I really do have to fluff it out. Again, these clip-ins, they like to clump together. It's not a texture that's similar to mine, so I really have to like get it fluffed out, and the more fluffed out it looks, especially in this transition area where, you know, the rubber meets the road, where the rubber meets the road, you really need to fluff out the clip-ins, because that way you won't be able to really see the texture of the clip-ins that distinctly between like where my hair is and the clip-ins go. But that's it. I decided to do just another little twist here just because I really wanted to kind of intertwine my hair and this hair a bit more. But at the end of the day, the better the clip-ins, or the more they match your texture, the better, obviously. These are the clip-ins that I have, and I actually do like them. I just really have to fluff them out because they have a tendency to clump back together. So I will be fluffing them out a bit before I head out, but just wanted to end that here. Hope this was helpful. Hope you were able to, you know, discover a new style that you can do, okay? So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and also you can follow me on Instagram if you're interested, alright? You know, why not? And I'm gonna see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye.